The questions بإذن الله الكريم. هنا إن شاء الله. السؤال الأول لك إن شاء الله تعالى والسؤال الثاني سؤال إن شاء الله تعالى. The first question is, in this era of gadgets, Sheikh, how do we balance games and our kids and completely stopping, or shall we completely stop them and isolate them from games?
The issue is about the video games, to isolate them from the video games. Okay, if you isolate them from the video games, where are you as a father? For example, I have a son, 14 years old, 15 years old, 10 years old. I tell them, khalas, no PlayStation, no iPad, nothing. Okay, and I'm outside. Then your children fight at home, or they try to cheat and they try to escape the house. Or these brothers, sisters, before isolating your children from the media or the video games, think how to fill the gap. This is very important. And it is not only the Quran. For sure, the Quran is very important. The Tarbiyah Islami is very important. But also the other things which are useful, maybe sport. Okay, you take them and walk, or maybe you keep these things at home. You make, if you have extra room, you keep this room as a gym. Do the things at home. Provide these things for your children at home. So this is very important, the replacement. Where, when you stop and they listen, okay, khalas. Okay, no video games, no social media. Then what? You think that your children they keep their eyes on the books 24 hours? They will memorize Quran, they will read the hadith, and they will read the books of the scholars? If they do this, okay, alhamdulillah. But not all of us. Look at yourself. Are you all doing that? Because sometimes, okay, I tell my son, khalas, no mobile, no video game, nothing. Okay, but I have 2-3 mobiles, 24 hours. I don't leave the mobiles. It is halal for me, it is haram for my children. So, my advice is to be practical. Okay, think how to fill the gaps in the life of your children. Okay, the issue is not only the Quran, for sure. The Quran is enough and more than enough. But subhanAllah, sometimes you notice your children, they are not toward the Quran. You can notice your children, maybe one of them, mashallah, memorizing the Quran at the age of 15, the other one at the age of 18, and one of them until now he's not memorizing the Quran. Why? Does this mean he hates the Quran? Astaghfirullah, never. He doesn't hate the Quran, but they are different. Okay, and the other thing, should I provide these things for them from the beginning? Why are you providing the mobile, the iPad and these things for your children? I should not buy them, wallahi, because the colleagues. Because, so we have a rule that because, for example, if I have 2 daughters, the first daughter, I bought the mobile at the age of 10. So khalas, it is compulsory for the second daughter, I have to buy the mobile at the age of 10. From where this rule? Sheikh, but Sheikh Rahman mentioned the hadith, العدل بين الأولاد, justice, and you have to be fair. Okay, but if it was wrong, why should I keep it? So we should be careful and we should be aware. When you give also the mobile and these things, you should keep your eyes open 24 hours. Be careful. And also, pay money for that. For example, if you are giving your children the mobile, there are applications or certain things. When you pay, for example, every month 1 dinar, 2 dinars, whatever, to stop the ads. Some people, they don't pay anything. I don't want to pay anything. Okay, but there are wrong things, dangerous things coming to your children. No, I don't pay. Okay, take the mobiles from them if you are not protecting them from these dangerous things. So the advice is, number 1, when you give them, you should be aware. Is it a good age for them to give them or not. Number two, the internet. Be careful from the internet, because what is the secret there. If you stop the internet, خلاص you'll find your children not with the mobile, not with the video games anymore. Why? Because it is boring. خلاص, let them play with that maybe for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, then to stop that. Let them enjoy their childhood. The problem that the percentage of obesity and these things, because of what? Because of this life. They are sitting in front of the laptop or the iPad. They are not moving. They are not enjoying their life. Allah.
And the next question, inshallah ta'ala, is how can we advise our kids when we notice them lying? So when the child lies, and he's lying, the way to deal with it is you say, if you tell me the truth, I won't punish you. Even if it's something wrong you did. So if you tell me the truth and you're honest about it, I will not punish you. But if you lie to me, there's a consequences for it. Now, the issue isn't what you've done. Because why sometimes a child would lie is because he knows that you're going to do something to him. So he feels the way to get out of what you're going to do to him is to lie. So you teach him that that necessarily won't happen. So you tell me the truth, I won't punish you. And if you lie, there's going to be consequences, even if what you did was wrong. So when he tells you the truth, even if it's bad, you just advise him and you don't punish him because of it. Over time, the child will realize that there's no need to lie. And so there's causes of why children lie. Children lie sometimes because they see that you sometimes punish them when they tell you the truth. And when they lie to you, you don't do anything to them. So if that works few times, he will start lying as he feels that's the only way out of the situation. So I think that's one way to, and there's other possibilities and things to do, inshallah ta'ala. Sheikh, there's a question for, my children are not teenagers, so Al-Romh ala Sheikh far'un an tasawwuri. My children are still younger than teenage. The oldest child is 12 years old for me. So inshallah, Sheikh Ahmad, inshallah, we'll ask him these questions, even I want to benefit from it when I get there, bi'idhnillahi al-kareem. So this question, Sheikh, is good, mashallah. My teenage daughter, whatever I say, she just wants to do the opposite. For this, sometimes I can't control my temper. What should I do in this situation?
عندي واحد. الله المستعان. Ask yourself why your daughter is doing that. Yes, you are sending the question to us, Jazakumullah khair, but ask yourself why your daughter. I don't think this is happening like that, without introduction, without anything. There is something. Maybe she noticed you. Maybe I'm not saying for sure. Maybe she noticed you having the same thing with your husband or with her. Okay, maybe she noticed her brother, her sister, elder sister. So, number one, we should understand the stages. Okay, the baby, the childhood, the teenagers, and these things. We should understand that the hormones can cause also psychological changes in the human being. You notice, okay, for mothers, during the period, خلاص, the temper is different. This is different. You can notice this, and the husband should notice this, and also for the teachers. Okay, this is subhanallah normal. The hormones are changing. So the same thing. Your daughter, she's 12 years old. I think she's بالغ now. She reached to the age of puberty. Okay, so for sure there are changes. This is very important. So you should realize that. And also, it is very important that to make a good relationship with your daughter. To make a good relationship with your daughter. This is very important. A relationship of friendship. I think for this case, this daughter, if she has an issue, she will not tell the mother. I'm not sure, but I think she's not telling the mother if she has an issue. She will tell her friend or if she has another sister. But if there is a good relationship, the daughter will not behave like that. And also the mother should control herself. This is very important. Now, what is the situation? The mother is telling the daughter to do something, then the daughter doing the opposite. The mother gets angry or very angry. طيب. Remember Hadith Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when that man, that young man came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, telling him what? Oh Rasulullah, give me the permission to do zina. He wants the permission to do what? Zina. It is not to drink junk food. Zina, one of the major sins, very bad sin. The Prophet ﷺ was very calm. He was very calm. Can you imagine? Imagine if your son or your daughter asking you the same question. You will not give him the chance or her to continue the question. You are going to kill your daughter. So where is the problem here? So, always I am saying the issue is with us before our children. I think I mentioned this in one of my lectures. One of the brothers, not Kuwait, but he is visiting Kuwait. So one time during the lunch, I told him from a book, and I did this lecture maybe many times. 10 red lines, red signals, which means these 10 points you should not do. So during taking the lunch, I mentioned all of these 10 points. He said, Sheikh Ahmad, as if you live with us. All the 10 mistakes he's doing as a father. So before think about raising the children, raise yourself. So again, back to the point. This girl, she is doing the opposite. Why? Maybe the mother is not giving the chance for this girl to show her opinion. You should dress this color. You should dress this way. Okay, no freedom. Okay, if she is within the halal, why you are not giving the freedom for your daughter? So you should give some mothers for an older age, they are controlling everything, what to eat, what to dress. Give the chance for your daughter to choose. Khalas. Let her build her personality, help her to have a strong personality. Again, if it is not haram. So be calm. You should control your anger. This is wrong to show your anger. If she makes the opposite, be soft. As we mentioned the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was calm, come close, and he gave him the security, everything. Then he made a dua for this man, and you make the dua for your daughter, and inshallah she will be better. But my advice, don't be like a rival for your son or your daughter. Okay, he's shouting and you are shouting, or she's shouting and you are shouting. You notice this, then this is wrong. Okay, the girl now, she's maybe taller than the mother. She's shouting and the mother shouting. Then what? Both of them will be losing. The mother and the daughter. You are losing your daughter, and the daughter is losing the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So think carefully. Every time you are doing the same, you tell your daughter to do something, she's doing the opposite, you are shouting. Today, tomorrow, after tomorrow. Then what? Think how to attract your daughter, to be a friend of your daughter. Allahumma salli.
And another question is, how can we deal with a lazy kid, and what are the advices that you can give? There's many steps that can be taken. One of them is you yourself to be engaged with what the child is doing. So when you realize that a child is not pulling his own weight, if you get involved yourself and say, listen, you can't do it by yourself, how about we do it together? And you set some time, if you have it, where you get involved in doing it with your child. You find that he'll enjoy himself and he would benefit from it. Because sometimes it's about not knowing what to do and how to do it, and showing the person, setting an example can sometimes be the preventative factor. You're maybe Or it could be that you just dump it on that person and that child can't carry it himself. Because as the Sheikh mentioned, the ability of people are different. Some people, they find it very easy to maneuver and do things. But some children are not like that. They need help. So it's not a problem. I'll show you. And I will guide you in how to do it. But as time goes on, you need to learn how to do it yourself. So there is, of course, dealings with different people in different ways. You cannot brush every person with the same brush. You cannot paint everybody with the same brush. You need to look at every child, as I said before, case by case. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's how He made us different. Some people's, mashallah, brain and their efficiency and their ability to grasp information is very high, and some don't. And that's why in university in the UK I studied linguistics. So one of the things that they teach us is receptive skills and productive skills. Receptive skills and productive skills. They say language, when you're learning a language, a lot of people have a high level of receptive skills, meaning they understand. Maybe they will be in Kuwait for so long, they never ever managed to learn Arabic. So when they hear a Kuwaiti speaking, he understands everything he's saying. He understands everything that he's uttering. But he doesn't have the productive skills, he can't produce. So some children, what happens is their receptive skills is good, but the productive skills is very bad. And some children, they're producing something, but their ability to take in things is very little. So what they're producing is little. So you need to study where the problem is coming from. You need to study where. So if it is the lack of knowing how to do it, or if it is he knows how to do it, but he's choosing not to do it, it's a different. So when the person asks the question, they say lazy, both situations can be referred to as lazy. But which one is it? So identifying the problem is very important. And I, mashallah, I have a lot of kids, so I see my kids, they're not all the same. And I try my best not to brush them all with the same paint. I just say each person, we need to learn how their learning skills is. And me as a kid, I remember when I was in school, I used to find it learning I used to find it quite hard. I used to find it hard. When I grew older, I took a 7 months course where I took time out to learn how to study. And I learned that the people are different types. There's kinesthetic learners, there's auditory learners, there's visual learners. I identified which one I fall into. So what was it that was away from me is I didn't know how to learn. Once I realized I knew what I needed to memorize, how to do it, I learned. So for example, for me, all this sticking on the wall is how I learn. I'm a visual learner. But I'm also an auditory learner as well, meaning I have to hear it multiple times. So now that I'm old, I record things on my phone and I play it. I put headphones in and I play it again and again and again. So I record myself. So with my kids, I do this. One kid, I tell him, write it 5 times. You memorize it. You listen to it 20 times. You do this. Because I've learned, and I try to find what their style of learning is. Then you start realizing the one you thought was lazy is because this was his problem. You were trying to make him study the way that you were making the others study. And so that's why his production level wasn't as good or pleasing to you. So Sheikh, تريد تزيد?
Wallahi, this is also, if you notice the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said, Hadith Sheikh al-Bani مش صحيح, أرحم أمتي بأمتي أبو بكر, أشد في دين الله عمر, أقضاها علي. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he mentioned that the most merciful person in my ummah, Abu Bakr, the more strict person, Umar, for the judgment, Ali. Which means the Prophet ﷺ knows that which companion for which mission. He sent Mu'adh ibn Jabal. So this is very important, as the Sheikh mentioned. I should not treat my children the same way. Of course, I don't mean by not to be just when you give them. No, the way in learning. Okay, no, because many times we hear this, or maybe sometimes we say this. When I was in grade 5, or when we were in grade 1, we used to write this 10 times. Okay, maybe for my son it is enough one time. Why should I make my son to struggle and to waste his time? And mashallah, if he's perfect after one time. Maybe it was my problem, I should write 10 times, or maybe it was not my problem, the problem of my teacher. So this is very important. You should know how to treat your children. They are, شوف subhanallah, every single person is unique. Every single, even the identical twins. They are not, they say they are identical shape, but personally they are not identical. They are not the same. So subhanallah, every single person is unique. I'm different than my brother, different than my sister, my son. We are not the same. So you should treat accordingly. It is not fair, wallahi. You tell them to be the same. And also, yani, subhanallah, yani, for sure, for yani, my children to be Hafiz Quran, this is great. This is great. But think about, number one, the basics. Or let's say al-wajibat. My main priority should be al-wajibat. That my children, I should make sure that they are praying the 5 prayers. My daughters follow the hijab. They are not lying. They are not backbiting. This is the main thing, wajibat. I should not focus on something mustahab and I'm missing the wajibat. I'm focusing on memorizing Quran and they are not praying on time. They don't wake up for Fajr. This is a big problem. So if your children are doing the wajibat, alhamdulillah, thank Allah, day and night. Because sometimes I'm pushing them to do the mustahabbat, okay, and they cannot do that. Or even I'm not doing that. Yes, for sure, I like that my children to be memorize Quran, Bukhari, Muslim, to be scholars, to be da'iyah, everything. But I'm not that. Also my wife. So why I'm asking my children to be that, focusing on that, and I'm not that person. So be realistic and think about the basic wajibat before the mustahabbat. This is very important.
Another question, inshallah ta'ala, Sheikh, is I think the questioner here is asking, what is the ruling of covering for the young girls when they are at home? What is the ruling of Sheikh? Parda. What's parda?
Covering.
Covering. What is the ruling of covering for the young girls when they are at home?
Yani, if you mean she's at home with the brothers and the sisters and she is adult, yani there is like the awra among the maharim. Yes, you'll find the scholars, they mention the awra among the maharim and the other women between the surra and the rukbah, the navel and the knees. But this is not correct. Yani, and also, yani, you should be careful if you have a daughter, she is 12, 13 years old, and a son, 15 years old, and she is wearing whatever she likes. No, this is wrong. You should be careful that the son is also adult. So, what is at home, يعني, it should be ثياب المهنة. What is usually uncovered for the woman at home? The head, the neck, okay, يعني, like the t-shirt side, يعني, the hand, the forearm, the arm, something the middle of the shin, like that, not something above the knees or the tight trousers. You should be careful about that. There is a hadith, the woman said, yarani fudla. Fudla means the dress of the woman at home. So the girls who are adults or almost adults, what do you mean almost after she is not puberty, she's 10 years old, but she's not puberty, but mashallah, the body is big. She should be careful. Even if there is no boy, you have girls. But the girls together also, they should be careful. That the Prophet ﷺ said, وَفَرِّقُوا بَيْنَهُمْ بِالْمَضَاجِعِ. Why? Think about this hadith. مُرُوا أَوْلَادَكُمْ بِالصَّلَاةِ وَهُمْ أَبْنَاء. Tell them to pray at the age of 7. Beat them if they don't pray at the age of 10. And also, فَرِّقُوا بَيْنَهُمْ بِالْمَضَاجِعِ. When they sleep, they should sleep separately, not together under one cover. What is the point? It is to protect them. This is very important, to protect them. You know, the issue is, don't give me wallah, red line, halal, haram. You should think for the future. And also about the media. Nowadays, subhanAllah, it is different. يعني, my colleague said his daughter in grade 6. Grade 6 يعني كم عمرها؟ Grade 6 I think she's 10 years old, 11 years old. She's not pubert, she's not بالغ. And يعني I saw his daughter يعني she's thin, small. One of her colleagues at the school, she said, "Oh, so why you don't have a يعني حزام, a belt?" I think you know the uniform in Kuwait schools. It is loose, alhamdulillah. It is loose. So she said, "Why you are not fixing a belt?" I said, "Why? No, to see your shape, the shape of your body." What kind of mentality that the girls nowadays, subhanallah. So what is my point? We should be careful, more careful, because now it is open. Before, let's say 30 years, how to find these pictures and these things, the photos and the movies, there is difficulty. But nowadays, khalas, it is only one click. Right? So back to the point, don't give the freedom for your daughters at home to wear whatever they like. Okay? They should avoid the tight clothes. They should avoid. All of them daughters, you have boys and daughters, they should avoid the tight. And also, they should avoid anything above the knees. They should cover the chest side, the thighs. They should cover that with loose clothes. This is very important. Be careful.
Inshallah ta'ala. One question I said here, what about if things don't go the way planned when we want it to be a role model, how do we go about it? So inshallah ta'ala, one of the things I think is very important for parents is to be able to be vulnerable at times. Your children need to understand that you, as a parent, can get it wrong at times. You're not perfect. You've never been a parent before. You tell your children, look, I'm a human being, I get it right and I get it wrong. And don't be ashamed to tell your children, I was wrong and you were right. Because remember, you're a teacher, you're teaching your child, own up to your mistakes. If you as a parent don't want to own up to your mistakes and whatever you did wrong, the child, what are you teaching him? And you're doing this to teach the child. So if it's happened that you didn't be a role model to your child, it's fine to say to your child, look, the past is the past. I wasn't the best person to follow through with. But I'm looking at what the future holds. I'm planning, inshallah ta'ala, to set some boundaries that I myself have to conform to, and so should you. And just communicating with your children, just informing them, that's one of the steps, inshallah ta'ala, for progression. Bi-idhnillahi al-kareem. If Sheikh Ahmad can add something to that. Things didn't go the way planned about being a role model because they were busy with health, time, school, work.
The issue is, teach your children, I'm not the reference. The same question, it is the same question. Okay? The same previous question. What I like to add, make sure that you are repeating again, the reference is not me as a father or a mother. Your reference is the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because one of the mistakes, always you are talking to your children about yourself. When I was in the school, when I memorized Quran, when I did. So keeping in their mind, who is the role model? Me. No. The role model is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. لقد كان لكم في رسول الله أسوة حسنة. خلاص, because he is معصوم, sinless, عليه الصلاة والسلام. And what about me? Full of sins. So they follow your mistakes also. So then you'll find the issue. Then you will find the issue with what? That your children will judge you. You did this, you did that. Or they will follow your mistakes even without you know that. So when you teach them that the reference, you mention Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You mention, for example, Nuh. The other prophets alayhim salatu wasalam. All of them are role models alayhim salatu wasalam. You give them a story from the Sahaba. So خلاص. يعني for example, when you come to the issue of صدق, truthfulness, you mention the story of Ka'b Malik. When you speak about al-kadhib, don't lie. You mention hadith Abdullah ibn Amr, when his mother called him, تعال أعطيك, come, I'm going to give you. She showed some pieces of dates. The Prophet ﷺ said, if you don't give dates, it will be a lie. It will be written as a lie. So when the Prophet ﷺ is the reference, خلاص. Your reference is perfect. But when the reference is me, always when I talk with my children, me and your mom, you, me and your mom, me and your mom, and we have full mistakes, طيب, then you will struggle. طيب, and also يعني, you know, the plan, we plan many things, but it is only Allah's plan. Yes, I plan that I want my children to join this school, they will memorize Quran at the age of 15, they will do this, they will join this college. But it doesn't happen. Or when it happens, maybe 90%, 80%, it differs. But it is Allah's plan, always.
Sheikh, the majority of the questions, Sheikh, they're now teenage, so inshallah ta'ala we're gonna...
Sheikh, أنا موجود هنا.
والله تعالى
لا أنا قاعد أتكلم أكثر منك.
لا والله لازم Sheikh. From what age girls should wear their hijab? Also, I've observed a lot of Arab girls do not wear hijab, so my girls are questioning me about it. What should I say in this situation? So the question, I think it would be better to say I've observed saying a lot of Arab girls, I think just say some, other than making it a lot, inshallah ta'ala.
والله يعني again, شوف, for sure the wajib is at the age of puberty. Hijab, يعني the wajibat on the girl herself at the age of puberty. She has to pray, she has to wear hijab, she has to fast Ramadan, to give zakah. If she has money in her account, she has to give zakah. If she has money, she has to do hajj. This is from her side. But from my side, as a father, I mean from the parents, no. From the age of 7, you have to pray. This is from my side. You pray. At the age of 10, she is not praying. I beat her. For the reward, the Prophet ﷺ said. So we should notice this. Something from her side. Yeah, for example, if she doesn't have hijab and she's 12 years old, she's not puberty, this is not a sin. But come to my side. Come to my side. The issue is, if you are waiting, because you know, this is what I agree when you compare here in the Kuwait. I don't know about the other Arab countries, but here in Kuwait, I noticed this. Yes, mashallah, here the Indian community and Pakistan, mashallah, from the age maybe 6 or 7, there is hijab. Yes, maybe with t-shirt, but hijab. I mean, covering the head. But in our community, when you check the schools, you go to for example, grade 5, most of them without hijab. Of course, when I say hijab, covering the head. What is the problem? At the age of, you know, girls usually reach to the bulugh, the puberty, earlier than the boys. The boys are usually 13, 14, 15. The girls maybe 10 or 11. Okay? Why? Because sometimes because of the food that we are eating, a lot of hormones. A lot of hormones, the chicken fillet and these things. So that's why you'll find them getting very early puberty. Some people think, many people here, mentality among our society, okay, no, she is still a child at the age of puberty, we tell her to wear hijab. Which means, oh mom, I see the blood today. Yalla, you wear hijab today. So do you think that the girls will accept that? There are some girls don't accept that. Why? Because yesterday I went to the school with my hair, mashallah, combed and everything with the makeup. And the next day, I should go without makeup and with hijab. Sorry. Let's delay that for next year. Astaghfirullah, but now haram. Haram. So we should train them from which age? Okay, يعني from the Sunnah, Allahu Alam, we don't have an age, but it is a clue that the Prophet ﷺ told us to tell them to wear hijab, to pray at the age of 7, and to beat them at the age of 10. So let's take this as a time for the hijab. You train them gradually. So you start 5 minutes. You start with your girls with something loose. Okay, let's say at the age of 7, maybe the age of 8, you start with normal hijab, then with the proper hijab, gradually. This is very important. But if you notice that your daughter, she is with a big body, and the colleagues, all of them with hijab, خلاص, let her wear the hijab. And if you notice your daughter telling you, please mom, I want the hijab, don't refuse. Still you are young. I hear this, wallah, I feel very sorry. The daughter wants the hijab and the mother doesn't want. So let's train them and give them nice stories about the hijab. Let them to love the hijab. This is very, very important. And also, a very important point, what is the meaning of hijab? It is not only covering the head. It is not only covering the head. Because you notice in some schools or some houses, they make a party. Hijab. What kind of hijab? Covering the head. But with jeans and maybe very tight clothes, this is wrong. This is wrong.
How to make a child who's reached age of puberty responsible about salah.
تتكلم
الصلاة. لا لا والله شيخ puberty now. Or the question to puberty.
Again, the same issue. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Muruhum, tell them to pray at the age of 7, beat them at the age of 10. Don't jump to the age of puberty, because this is our problem. We jump. Okay, don't jump. Walk step by step. When you take it step by step, inshallah, you don't need this question. Okay, so I know sometimes we wake up when my son is 15 years old. I was sleeping. 15 years I am sleeping. Then at the age of 15, my wife telling me, brother, your son is not praying. Please wake up. I am sleeping for 15 years. Why? Because for 15 years, he's with his mother. She's struggling with him. But now he's strong boy. He's fighting his mother. So, first of all, we should follow the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. At the age of 7, tell them to pray. At the age of 10, you beat them. And usually or always, you don't need to beat them. If you are telling them to pray from the age of 7, 3 years, you are telling them to pray in a nice way, different ways. Try to change the techniques. Don't follow only one technique. And no need every time, yalla, if you pray, I give you this. If you pray, I'll give you. Wasting your money every time and spoiling his intention, it's not good. So at the age of 10, you beat them. Okay, now he's a pubert. Okay, so I beat him at this age, mushkil. This is the problem. And also, I don't want my son or my daughter to, I beat them to pray at this age, because they may pray without wudu, or they go to the masjid and they don't pray, or you notice them, going to the masjid very early to play, not to pray. You notice in the masajid, mashallah, football field, they play football. Then at the time of ruku', they run to catch the rak'ah. And this is good if they pray. But sometimes they don't pray. When you are strict with them, think how to protect them. Think how to protect them, because sometimes I'm very strict with them. You have to go and pray in the masjid. Sorry to say, but sometimes you need to compromise. Sometimes you need to compromise. If you notice that your son is resisting you, he's not coming to the masjid. Khalas, he's 17 years old. You want to pray at home? Yeah, you pray at home. But alhamdulillah, at least you are praying. What to do? You need to compromise. Sometimes, why? For a bigger benefit. Of course, I don't mean to compromise from the first moment. You should try. So this is very important. Now your son is old, your daughter is old. Okay, they are 17, they are 20, they are employees. Try to be wise. You should weigh the benefits and the losses. And you should follow what has more benefit and less loss.
Last question, inshallah. How to manage attention-seeking behavior in kids? Every relationship, whether it be a spouse, children, they say that every relationship is built on 3 A's. By the way, I'm not claiming that I follow this, okay, as a disclaimer, but I think every relationship is based on 3 A's, okay? Appreciation, affection, and attention. Any relationship that's healthily built on those 3 A's will prosper, whether it be spouses, wife and husband, or it be children and the parents, or parents with their children. If you're giving your child enough attention that he needs, appreciation and affection, that child will grow healthy in his emotions, and when he grows up, inshallah ta'ala, he's not going to need to look for it elsewhere. If you're not giving it, then there's always other places that will be willing to give it to them. And if it's a girl and you've not given, as a father, those 3 A's, appreciation, affection, and attention, they might look for it in the wrong places. And when they do look for it in the wrong places, those other people have ulterior motives. So you don't know what they can do with it. So inshallah ta'ala, if your child is seeking attention, maybe he is dehydrating. Give him the attention that he or she is asking for. Inshallah ta'ala, in a healthy way. Barakallahu feekum wa jazakumullah khairan. Sheikh Ahmad, nas'alullah yarfa'a qadrak wa yu'li sha'nak. And may Allah add it to your mizan of hasanat yawm al-qiyamah. May Allah bless you all, inshallah ta'ala, for coming. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless Hikmah for inviting us today, giving us this opportunity to share some benefits with you all. And I hope this is not the last of many to come, inshallah. I hope this is many more to come, inshallah ta'ala. And barakallahu feekum wa jazakumullah khairan. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.